Most of what your family taught you about money was wrong. Not because they were trying to deceive you, but because nobody taught them either. Save this video. By the end, you'll see 5 lies you may have inherited without realizing and the truth that replaces each one. The first lie: hard work guarantees financial success. This was true for previous generations under specific economic conditions that no longer exist. Pensions, defined benefit retirement plans, unions that protected wages, a housing market where one income could buy a home. Those structures supported a world where hard work translated more directly into financial security. Those structures are mostly gone. Today, hard work alone is no longer a path to wealth. It's the price of admission to staying employed. The harder working employee earns slightly more than the less hardworking one, but neither builds significant wealth from labor alone. Wealth comes from ownership, leverage, and skill, not effort. Your family told you to work hard because it was the truest thing they knew. But hard work without ownership in today's economy is just a longer, more tiring path to the same financial position. The second lie: saving money is the same as building wealth. Your parents and grandparents lived in a world where banks paid 5 to 10% interest on savings accounts. In that world, saving really did build wealth. Money in the bank actually grew faster than inflation, slowly accumulating into real value over decades. Today, banks pay 0.4%. Inflation runs 3 to 5%. Money in a savings account loses buying power every year. The lesson your family passed down, save, 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 is now subtly destructive if you stop at saving and don't invest. Saving is still essential for short-term needs and emergency funds, but saving alone, without investing the long-term money, is one of the most common reasons people who do everything right still end up broke in retirement. The third lie: debt is always bad. Your family probably taught you that debt is dangerous, shameful, and to be avoided at all costs. They weren't entirely wrong. High-interest consumer debt is genuinely destructive. Credit card debt at 24%, payday loans, financing depreciating purchases, all of these will destroy wealth faster than anything else. But debt is always bad misses something crucial. Debt at low interest, used to buy appreciating assets, is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools available. The mortgage on a rental property that earns more than the interest costs. The low-interest business loan that funds a venture earning 30% returns. The strategic use of leverage that the wealthy use constantly to multiply their gains. The wealthy don't avoid all debt. They distinguish between productive debt and destructive debt, and they use one while avoiding the other. Your family probably taught you to fear all of it, which protected you from the destructive kind, but blocked you from the productive kind. The fourth lie is the most expensive of all, because it shapes how you spend the next 40 years of your career. The fourth lie: a good job is the foundation of a stable life. Your parents lived in a world where a job at a stable company was a reasonable bet. Companies offered pensions, healthcare, and the implicit promise of long-term employment. In that world, finding a good job and staying there for decades made sense. Today, that world is gone. Companies lay off employees in response to quarterly earnings reports. Pensions barely exist for new hires. Healthcare is shaky. Employment is at will, which means whenever your employer decides otherwise. Treating a job as the foundation of a stable life now is like treating a hotel room as a permanent home. The new reality: a job is income. It is not stability. Stability comes from what you build times outside, times the job investments, side income, owned assets, multiple income streams. The people who treated jobs as the goal are now the most financially vulnerable adults in modern economies. The people who treated jobs as a tool to fund what they were actually building elsewhere are the ones with real security. The fifth lie: talking about money is rude. Your family probably trained you not to ask what people earn, not to discuss debt openly, not to compare investment returns, not to share financial information even with close friends. This wasn't malicious, it was the cultural norm passed down from generations who believed silence was respectable. The cost of this silence is enormous. You don't know what colleagues earn for similar work, so you don't know to negotiate. You don't know how friends are investing, so you cannot learn from their successes or mistakes. You don't know how your siblings are managing money, so you can share insight with each other. The silence keeps you isolated in your own financial confusion. The wealthy talk about money constantly. They negotiate openly. They share strategies, structures, advisors, tax tricks, investment opportunities. The information compounds across their networks, while ordinary people's networks share recipes and weekend plans, but never the conversations that would change their lives. Here's the deeper insight. Your family didn't pass down these lies because they wanted to harm you. They passed them down because they were the truths of their time, and they didn't have access to the updated information. The world changed. The lessons didn't update with it. Your job isn't to resent your family for what they didn't know. It's to take what was useful from their teachings: discipline, frugality, work ethic, integrity, and update the parts that no longer apply. Replace hard work guarantees success with hard work plus ownership compounds into wealth. Replace saving is building wealth with saving covers short-term needs, investing builds wealth. Replace all debt is bad with use productive debt, avoid destructive debt. Replace a good job is stability with a job is income. Stability is what you build outside it. Replace talking about money is rude with the conversations you avoid cost you the most. Save this video. Follow this account for more on rewriting inherited beliefs.